mean, we expect our team to be better, and we expect each of the players to be better. We have a lot of guys that are, not yet in their prime, that are moving that direction. And so I do expect it to be better. I mean, you can't put numbers on it necessarily. You can have some goals with numbers, but I think that overall there's a lot of factors as determining success. And, we want to be better at the end of the year than we are at the beginning of the year, however good we are at the beginning of the year. And we want to be able to compete against the best teams. So I don't know what it means from a wins number or a playoff success. I mean, so much depends on health and chemistry. And, those are unanswered questions that we don't know. I mean, we do have high expectations this year, higher than we've had in the past. And we'll see how that goes.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to make the playoffs. And it's hard to be good against the best teams. It's hard to be good against every team in this league. Every team is capable of playing exceptional basketball on a given night. That's why you have to prepare to do so as much as you can. My expectations never change. It's all about getting better tomorrow and making sure we're as good as we can be. And that's a very simple, boring process, but it's the way that I go about it. And, I think that the results take care of themselves. Right when you define something as success and you reach it, if you don't go any further, you set the limit for your team. And I'm certainly not into setting ceilings.
And, we got some new additions to the team with Al and Gerald and those guys, and it feels good to have them out there, and I think I speak for everybody when I say we're excited, and I'm excited to get it started tomorrow. As long as we work hard to do what we're supposed to do and stay together, anything's possible in the words of the great KG.
We know we can compete with anybody in this league, whether it be Cleveland, Golden State, those top teams. We know we're right there, and we just got to put it all together. And we know we have a special group. We have a lot of anticipation, a lot of expectations, but we're not worried about those. We're worried about the things that we can control, and that's being ourselves. Whatever role, like Coach said yesterday, whatever role that's your role, do it the best possible. Do it at the highest level. And I think we have a great group of guys that are going to put everybody's ego aside and do what's best for this team. And like I said, I'm excited.
Welcome to 2016 Celtics Media Day here on the Garden Report. We are at Waltham's Training Center for the Celtics. I'm Jared Weiss from CLNS Radio. I'm joined by Josue Pavone from CLNS Radio. And we saw a lot of interesting, a lot of boring press conferences today, but the most important thing that happened was addressing the fact that Al Horford is here. Al Horford really is on the Celtics, which is still a little shocking when you think about the history of this team. Yeah. And he is a perfect fit for this team. Brad Stevens talked about how all Al Horford has to do is come here and be Al Horford.
Exactly. That's exactly why they got him. He's a two-way guy. He can play both ends of the floor. He's a locker room presence, and that's exactly who he needs to be. I know after the whole Kevin Durant signing debacle, when that fell through, that people may have think that Al Horford has to, levitate his game now that he's with the Celtics. No, they need him to be who he is, and that's going to be more than enough for them to be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference.
It's not really like Al's that guy. I mean, Al's the guy that just makes everything work. He's not necessarily the guy that takes over the game. And they have that guy in Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah Thomas talked about earlier this month how he's trying to be able to shoot from anywhere on the court. Today, when he was asked about what did he improve on this offseason, he talked about how he got his own chef. He's working with the top sleep doctor over at Brigham and Women's Hospital, so he's sleeping more. He's not eating fast food. He's eating vegetables. I mean, he was one of the guys that really, there's not a ton to add to his game from a scoring standpoint. It's really more being able to just kind of continue to dominate throughout the game, and he's looking for new ways to enhance himself.
You know what he's doing, Jared? He's thinking like a veteran, and that's something that all Celtics Nation wants to see right now. They want to see him thinking like a veteran, taking on that leadership role, because he's proven himself to be a leader. And now he's doing things off the court that's going to make him a better player.
Well, another guy that talked about what kind of improvements he tried to make was Jay Crowder. And Crowder, when I asked him, he said that he's really working on trying to be effective at driving the ball from the perimeter, being able to drive and kick, kind of taking the ball out of Isaiah Thomas's hands more, making it so that he has less responsibility, give him a break, even though obviously now that he's eating veggies and sleeping, he doesn't need a break, of course. Right. And another thing that was of note was that Al Horford actually said that he played some pickup with Jay, and he was blown away by how effective of a shooter Jay was from the perimeter, that he really looked even better than he was last year. Now, obviously, the last time Al saw Jay Crowder playing, as Jay admitted, he was not even close to 100% in that Hawks series.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
Jay was a solid outside shooter last year that struggled once he got hurt in the second half of the season. They need him to be a knockdown shooter, and it sounds like that's one of the places where they can expect him to kind of take hold this season.
And that's a place. That's a part of his game I think is going to help because of Al Horford. I think the presence, his inside presence, is going to open things up a bit for Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder may get more open shots than he's usually accustomed to, and I think that's something that's going to improve his points production. But I love the fact that he's talking about driving to the hoop more often. I would love to see him develop on his own, develop his own shots, sort of off the dribble, beat guys to the hoop. I think those are the type of things that you want to see more out of Jay Crowder, because it may end up turning him into a 20-point scorer, and that's obviously going to be the Celtics. That's going to just make the Celtics such a better team. I'm not predicting that.
No, the
Jared,
points
don't
have
get
to
me
go
wrong,
somewhere, sure.
But I think that if he's able to utilize his game in that asset, it could happen. It could be 17, 18 points, whatever the increase is going to help the team eventually on the offense.
When it's like Steven said in his presser, having Horford there frees up everybody. And especially when it comes to three-point shooting, Al started to become kind of a consistent three-point shooter last year, so they're projecting him to be an even better three-point shooter this year, because he was about league average, which is really good for your five. If your center is shooting league average from three, that's really good. They're expecting him to be even better this year. Horford's someone that's added something. He's one of those guys that adds something to his game every single season. So they're expecting him to just do what he does so well. It's as if he's taking over the game, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's going to do it for us from here. I have tons of video content for you on the CLNS Radio YouTube page. We have another video after this talking about some of the social stuff that was talked about at today's press conferences. So for Josue, I'm Jared. Stay tuned here on the Garden Report playlist on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog.
You know, it's unfair to ask Al to be anything more than who he is. And so we're looking forward to having him here because we think he's a special fit for us on and off the court.
He's going to help us so much in so many ways. Just being around him these last couple weeks, being able to work out with him and play 5-on-5 games here with him, he's so unselfish. He's so unselfish. He knows how to make the right play out of the pick and roll. He's a guy that's going to help us in a lot of ways, not just offensively but defensively, and somebody we needed. So I'm excited to get going with him, and hopefully we can gel and click sooner than later.
I love his experience, his character, and his versatility. Very talented player, but as much as anything, he's just been very consistent over his career, shooting the ball, playing multiple positions, and I think he's a guy that fits in with our system where we have the big guys handling the ball a lot.
He's such a great player. He knows exactly what to bring to the game of basketball, to a team, and it's no coincidence that wherever he goes, he wins. Since his college days on, he's been a winner. He's been a winner. So I think he brings leadership to us. He brings a winning mentality, and I know for sure he's great at what he does, and that's protect the rim and score at a high rate and rebound at a high rate.
You know, Al being a guy that, just like me, prides himself on defense. We have the guards that, are very aggressive and tenacious to get into guys. Now we got a big back there that can help us so we can be as aggressive as we want to.
I think he brings some leadership, hard work. I got a chance to be around Jeff Teague for a few days this summer, and he just told me I'm really going to enjoy having him here on this team. He's going to open the floor up for everybody. He's a great player in the offensive end, defensive end. He knows how to play the game of basketball. And to have him be a part of this team, I'm just happy about it, and I feel like he's going to help us out a lot.
No, not really. More than anything, I'm just excited that I'm here, that the season's here, that we get started, that we get to work, that I get to work with the guys. It's been a long summer, so I'm just anxious to get started.